kembali keseluruhan agenda sepanjang kunjungan rasmi Presiden Donald J. Trump ke Malaysia, jelas bahwa lawatan ini bukan sekadar sebuah pertemuan diplomatik yang bersifat simbolik atau terhad kepada aturan protokol semata-mata. Sebaliknya, ia merupakan satu peristiwa geopolitik yang membawa implikasi besar terhadap hubungan dua hala serta lanskap politik, serantau dan global. Kehadiran Trump di Kuala Lumpur berlaku dalam konteks dunia yang sedang berdepan dengan ketidaktentuan ekonomi, konflik geopolitik yang berpanjangan, serta persaingan pengaruh antara kuasa-kuasa besar, sekaligus menjadikan Malaysia sebagai lokasi strategik untuk dialog, rundingan, dan pembinaan persefahaman bersama. Melalui penyertaannya dalam Sidang Kemuncak ASEAN-Amerika, syarikat serta pertemuan dua hala bersama Perdana Menteri Malaysia, lawatan ini memperlihatkan usaha kedua-dua negara untuk memperkukuh kerjasama jangka panjang yang merangkumi bukan sahaja aspek perdagangan dan pelaburan, tetapi juga keselamatan maritim, kestabilan politik, rantaian bekalan global dan kesejahteraan rakyat. Penandatanganan memorandum persefahaman dalam bidang minerals kritikal dan perdagangan strategik mencerminkan kesungguhan untuk membina hubungan ekonomi yang lebih kukus dan berdaya tahan. Manakala penyaksian terhadap perjanjian damai antara Thailand dan Kamboja pula mengangkat peranan Malaysia sebagai fasilitator, neutral dalam agenda perdamaian serantau. Dalam masa yang sama, lawatan ini turut mencerminkan kepercayaan Amerika Syarikat terhadap kepimpinan Malaysia dalam ASEAN serta keupayaannya menjadi jambatan antara kuasa besar dan negara-negara Asia Tenggara. Walaupun wujud reaksi bercampur daripada masyarakat berhubung dasar luar, Amerika Syarikat, kehadiran Trump ke Malaysia tetap membuka ruang dialog yang lebih luas dan matang mengenai keamanan dunia, keadilan global, serta masa depan hubungan antara bangsa, sekaligus meletakkan lawatan ini sebagai satu titik penting dalam sejarah diplomasi negara.
Today, President Trump arrived in Malaysia for the first leg of his week-long trip to Asia. Congress is like, have fun. We'll deal with this whole government being shut down thing when you get back, okay? Have a great time. Trump landed in Malaysia and said, so beautiful, an entire country named after my wife. Can't believe that. On his trip to Asia, Trump said that he wants to meet with the president of China, the prime minister of Japan, and the demon hunters of South Korea. People are wondering if Trump will also meet with Kim Jong-un. It's rare for a president to meet with a dictator, but Kim Jong-un says he's open to it. Yeah.
Have you guys been wondering why suddenly all the world leaders seem to be flying into Malaysia? I mean, even Donald Trump is arriving in a couple of hours. Or maybe you're already here in Malaysia by the time you see this video. So here's what's going on in plain English. Malaysia is hosting this thing called the ASEAN Summit. ASEAN means Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Basically an association of neighboring countries that are working together for, trade, growth, and peace. In this association are 10 different leaders from Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia, Philippines, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, and Brunei. This year, what's happening is that they're adding an 11th member, Timor-Leste. That is going to be officiated right here in Malaysia this time. Back to the question, so why are the global leaders coming if it's just all, ASEAN countries? And simplified, it's because ASEAN isn't really that small anymore. It's now, based on my research, the world's 5th largest economy and a very key trade hub between the East and the West. Basically, they do business. And that's why countries like US, Japan, China, they show up every single year. This time, why is Donald Trump here? He's coming really to rebuild, US ties with Southeast Asia. They're going to talk trade, basically talk business, and even supposedly support peace talks for Thailand and Cambodia. And as for Malaysia, being able to just host this summit shows that we have enough, power pull to bring all these powerful nations to one table. The bottom line, everyone's here because Southeast Asia matters. And Malaysia just happens to be at the center of it because our Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim is the chairman of ASEAN 2025. Are they really just here for a photo opportunity? No. They're here really to talk business, talk trade, really strengthen each other's presence in each other's countries. Simply put. Hopefully that helps you understand a little bit more as to why we all have to be on public transports this weekend.
If you go to Japan, where I just left, and if you go to South Korea and Malaysia and other countries, they have a very small car, sort of like the Beetle used to be with the Volkswagen. They're very small, they're really cute, and I said, how would that do in this country? And everyone seems to think good, but you're not allowed to build them. And I've authorized the secretary to immediately approve the production of those cars, so you'll be able to buy they really are, they're actually, some of them are really beautiful, actually. On Sunday in Malaysia, we signed the Kuala Lumpur Peace Accords, ending forever the war between Cambodia and Thailand. Thank you. Thank you. We ended up with the help of Malaysia. Malaysia was like a mediator, and we used a beautiful facility in Malaysia because it was too hot. The other two, and I don't mean hot weather-wise, I mean it was hot. It was too hot with bullets flying all over the place. And Malaysia was fantastic, and they helped implement it. The Prime Minister was great guy, just left him. And within 2 days, we signed the deal. And the two people came in, they were like best friends. It was a beautiful thing to see. We saved, probably millions of lives. They've had a tempestuous relationship I said, for how many years? 500 years. They said, that's a long time. That's a long time. But we think this is going to be, hopefully, I use the word everlasting. Same thing in the Middle East. We hope it's going to be everlasting peace. They've never had peace. They've 3,000 years, and we signed in the Middle East. But I've ended 8 wars in 8 months, and in many instances, trade has played a big part in getting those wars ended. Look at his signature. How interesting is that? Right? It's very different. It's very good. Very artistic, actually. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations, and thank you, Jameson. Great job. Appreciate it. Marco, thank you very much.
On Gaza, we welcome your comprehensive plan to end the Gaza conflict. That's given the world a glimmer of hope that even in the most intractable conflicts, diplomacy and determination can prevail.
We have another situation like that right now in the Middle East. In Gaza, you might have read a little bit about Gaza.
And we trust that with your leadership, Mr. President, we'll achieve a just and durable peace.
And I must also share with you here that I took the full opportunity, exploring other issues too, and thank the President for his effort to secure peace in many parts of the world, including Gaza, and urging him to remain focused and ensure that there's comprehensive peace that the world requires. And I am delighted, truly, President, to hear from you personally how determined you are to ensure that peace is achieved in the most intractable areas, almost impossible, but you did it, and we have shown our support and call on the United States in particular to continue this with the support of many, not only neighbors, but the part of the world.
the third that helped so much. I appreciate so much. Maybe it couldn't have been done without you, but they really like each other. I also want to thank Prime Minister Anwar of Malaysia. I called him right at the beginning and I said, you know, you have two countries that are fighting right next to you. We need a third place. We need a sort of a neutral place, right? And he was there, and I said to him, you know, if we get this solved, I'm coming to your country. And I told the truth, didn't I? A lot of times they say that, and that's the last you ever see. But I felt I had an obligation to come because you were so great, and the two men alongside of you are so great. Historic figures now, really historic figures. So I felt it was an obligation I had. I told it to you. That was about a year ago, and all of this has taken place. It's been so beautiful to see. And we had a lot of phone calls, the three of us and then the four of us. We had a lot of phone calls. It was a beautiful day. I remember how beautiful it was. Turnberg is a great place, but I said, this is much more important than playing around the golf. So we sat there all day long making phone calls, and it was amazing the way it came together very quickly. I mean, really very quickly. You caused me very good entertainment. I could have had a lot of fun, but this is much more fun for me than anything having to do with almost anything, because you're saving people and you're saving countries. But ask them to choose the path of prosperity and peace over needless bloodshed and war. At the end of July, after extremely productive discussions, we reached a ceasefire agreement. And now these gentlemen, and they really are gentlemen, high-quality people, both went to college in the United States, and now these gentlemen are about to sign what we're calling the Kuala Lumpur.
Mr. President, do you believe that China played a role at all in establishing peace between Cambodia and Thailand in their recent conflict? Did China help in that process?
Well, they weren't involved. They weren't.
Will you still sign over preside
Malaysia was involved, actually. So Malaysia helped us. One of the reasons I'm going to Malaysia is they were very, very much involved in the whole thing, Thailand and all that. I told the leader of Malaysia, who's a very good man, I said, I think I owe you a trip. And that's why we're stopping in Malaysia for that reason. Malaysia was very much involved. And after about 2 days, we ended up with the help of Malaysia. Malaysia was like a mediator. We used a beautiful facility in Malaysia because it was too hot. The other two, and I don't mean hot weather-wise, I mean it was hot. It was too hot with bullets flying all over the place. And Malaysia was fantastic, and they helped implement it. The Prime Minister was great, great guy, just left him. And within 2 days, we signed a deal, and the two people came in, they were like best friends. It was a beautiful thing to see. We saved, you know, probably millions of lives. They've had a tempestuous relationship for, I said, for how many years? 500 years. I said, that's a long time.
Kesimpulannya, kunjungan Donald Trump ke Malaysia bukan sahaja mencatat satu episod penting dalam hubungan Malaysia-Amerika Syarikat, malah menegaskan peranan Malaysia sebagai sebuah negara yang berwibawa dan berpengaruh dalam arena diplomasi antarabangsa. Lawatan ini membawa mesej jelas bahawa kerjasama strategik, dialog terbuka dan pendekatan multilateral masih menjadi asas utama dalam membina kestabilan serantau dan global, terutamanya dalam suasana dunia yang semakin kompleks dan mencabar. Melalui perbincangan peringkat tinggi, perjanjian dagang yang dimeterai serta sokongan terhadap usaha perdamaian serantau, lawatan ini memperlihatkan potensi besar untuk memperkukuh kepercayaan antara negara, mengembangkan peluang ekonomi dan memperluas kerjasama dalam bidang keselamatan, teknologi serta tenaga masa depan. Pada masa yang sama, kepelbagaian reaksi masyarakat terhadap lawatan ini mencerminkan kematangan demokrasi Malaysia, di mana perbezaan pandangan diraihkan tanpa menjejaskan komitmen negara terhadap diplomasi dan hubungan antarabangsa. Malaysia berjaya menampilkan imej sebagai sebuah negara yang terbuka, berprinsip dan berupaya mengimbangi kepentingan nasional dengan tanggung jawab global. Secara keseluruhan, lawatan Donald Trump ke Malaysia membuka lembaran baharu dalam hubungan dua hala dan kerjasama serantau, sekaligus memberi harapan bahwa melalui diplomasi proaktif, kerjasama strategik dan keterbukaan terhadap peluang baharu, masa depan yang lebih stabil, makmur dan sejahtera dapat dibina bukan sahaja untuk Malaysia dan ASEAN, tetapi juga untuk komuniti global secara keseluruhan.